Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the
Global
Oh,
Digital
Digital
Success
Success
Talks.
Product. Oh, there is like there's like a
Uh-huh.
little echo.
You hear an echo?
I heard an echo. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I think I found it.
Okay.
I found the culprit. Okay. So today's topic is
Our topic for today is from content to clients, how to turn engagement into sales without feeling salesy.
yes. So that's what we're gonna be talking today. But before we dive into our topic, let's introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but according to reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel Vargas. I am originally from Mexico, but I live in United States. I am a wife, a mother of three, a grandmother of two, a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Thank you, Isabel. We also want to remind everyone that every Tuesdays and every Thursdays we have our live webinars. If you want to learn how you can start your online business, all you have to do is register in any of the websites that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So when you register into our websites, you will receive an email that will contain a link to register for the live webinar. So that link will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday, one for Thursday, so you can register for either one or for both. And the other link that you have is the replay link. So just in case you can't attend to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to an exclusive private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So I can't remember if I mentioned, but our live webinar is every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST. So now the other question for you is, okay, what am I gonna watch on the webinar? On the webinar, you're gonna find out how our online business plan works, and also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists who are members of our community, and they're going to be sharing, why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So let's find out who were the hosts and panelists from this past Thursday's live webinar.
Okay, so if you're ready to learn more about this amazing plan, don't forget to register on the websites on the screen. Last Thursday on our live webinar, we had Merlita as the host. She's a manual osteopath. Taylor is a registered nurse and also an ER nurse. Jennifer is a school bus driver, and Karen is a former wedding planner.
Yes, and we also have Ashley. She's a construction manager. We have Chital. She's an educator. We have Kelly, an ex-principal recruiter in MNC. So as you see, we have different walks of life. Some of them are doing the business on the side, and some of them they already quit their jobs and they're having the business, as their full-time job income source. Now, if you catch in the replay, hello.
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay, I just heard something. If you're catching um, the replay has subtitles in several languages, and our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. Okay, so what is our topic for today?
Okay, so our topic for today is from content to clients, how to turn engagement into sales without feeling salesy. So
Yes,
stay tuned. We're going to dive into this topic.
yes, that's right. So people crave connection, not pressure. Okay, so let's talk about how naturally turn engagement into clients without feeling pushy or salesy. So that's what we're gonna be talking today. So, what are we diving into today?
Okay, so today we're diving into questions we hear all the time. How do we turn engagement, those likes, comments, messages into actual clients without feeling like a salesperson?
Yes. So the good news is selling doesn't have to be uncomfortable. So when we focus on building relationships and offering solutions, the sales happen naturally. Okay. So what are today's points?
So here's what we're going to be touching on today: why engagement is the starting point, not the finish line, how to nurture genuine conversations, and how to invite people into our offers with authenticity.
Yes. So let's dive into our first topic.
Okay, so here's our first topic: engagement is an invitation to serve. When someone engages with our content, comments, likes, shares, that is a sign they feel connected. So our goal is to start a conversation, not pitches, right? And it is very how to say it is something so nice to see that you can engage with people you don't know online just by being yourself, being authentic, and they find that connection with you, right? You have something in common. So that's what I really enjoy. So acknowledge them, thank them for commenting, liking, or engaging. And that's, one of the things that you do as a content creator. If you have followers, that's how you create more, right? Being thankful for what you have, and always, valuing their time. They're taking their time to comment, to like, or just to engage with you. So why not take a few minutes of your time and do that in return, and just answer them back, and thank them for doing that. A simple, open ended question gets curious about their journey, goals, and challenges. And I have made so many connections since I started this business, but there is one in particular that, since I started this business, back in 2023, we connected, and we have so many things in common. And so till this day, we're still in touch. We message. We have a good friendship, and so that's what happens, right? When you have curiosity, when you ask people about their journey, when you ask people about their goals, when you connect with who they are, right? It brings this good connection, this good friendship out of that. And then focus on connections first, relationships, and transactions, right? Um, I really enjoy that. I enjoy making friendships online, just like Sandy and I, we didn't really know each other. We found each other through this business. And even though we didn't know each other in person, we started a good relationship, a good friendship. And you know, we now have met in person, but our friendship started off online, and then it is now a good friendship that we have offline as well. When we meet, I have the honor to meet her mom, and now it's like family, right? So that's what happens when you make those connections with your followers, with your audience. So it's something that people find, your authenticity. They know that you're talking about something that they have interest in, or something that they do, something that they used to do, or maybe something in their background. So it's nice to have those connections online. And then we have an example here. Instead of immediately sending a sales link, we can say, thank you so much for engaging. What inspired you the most from today's post? And I think that's very valid, right? To make that connection first, and then if the person is interested in what you're offering, they're going to ask the question instead of you having to say, hey, maybe they say, hey, hello, and then you don't want to be the one say, oh, this is what I'm offering, right? You want to make that connection first, and let them know a little bit about you and ask a little bit about themselves as well. So these shifts are the focus from selling to serving.
Yes, that's right. So you pretty much say it all. But I have a good example of one of the your followers. Because when we post content, it's usually the things that we have interest that we want to share with our audience, because your audience might have the same interest as you. That's the thing. You want to connect with people who have the same interests as you. So, for example, Isabel was mentioning to me once, like one of his followers, which is the one that she was talking about, he loves to fish, same as Isabel. So that they have that connection, in there. So you have something that you can talk about. So that's what you want to create, that relationship, when people relate to your content, and through your content, you create those relationship and engagement with your audience. Okay, so let's go to point number 2. So lead with value, then offer solutions. So once we have built rapport through conversation, it's time to lead with value. So what are the things that we can do? Listen first. Okay, so that's the first thing. So understand their needs, desires, and struggles. The second one is offer insights, tips, or encouragement. So that genuinely help whether or not they buy from us. And then invite, don't pressure. If what we offer fit their needs, share it naturally as a solution. And this is very true, because um, how can you start selling to someone if you really don't understand what are their needs? You really have to understand, what are their needs, what are their desires, what do they want to achieve, or reach, what are their struggles. You need to have a better understanding of what their problem is, so we can find a solution and help them that way. So it's the same problem if you want to help someone. For example, like, if you just give an example, if you have a kid, and he has a problem, you need to find out what is the problem that he has, why he doesn't understand the problem. So find what is his struggle, and once you found the struggle, then try to find a solution to that struggle, so he's able to find the solution of the problem. So you have to listen to them, what are the things that are making them, struggling. And then for the second one that we mentioned, offering insight, tips, or encouragement. That's what I was saying for this example of the little kid. After you listen to them, then you're trying to find a solution for them, or for him or her, to be able to achieve that problem, to find that solution. So, because we all are different. We all have different problems, uh, different situations. So, we cannot really approach the same way to one person. We have to approach it different ways, because everyone is different. Same thing, like the little example of the little uh, kid, that you're trying to help. They don't learn the same way. Like all the kids, they don't learn the same way. So you gotta find out how this kid learns, in order to be able to help them, and motivate him, to be able to find that solution. So it's kind of like the same sample, but like, I'm just giving you like a little analogy.
Yeah.
And then you invite and don't pressure. So that's the same thing. If you go back to the little example of the little kid, once you give the encouragement, you don't want to push him too much, then he's gonna like say, no, no, I cannot do this. You have to go little by little until he feels comfortable, and then he's able to do it on his own, and take ownership of finishing that problem that he say that couldn't do it. So, as an example here, based on what you share about wanting more flexibility, we have a system that might help. Would you like more info? So that's an example there. So there's no pressure, there's no pitching, just offering help, and letting them decide if they wanna take our help, or if they don't wanna take our help. So That's what we were talking here.
Yeah, this point is more about like building trust and having that relationship, and as my previous experience, as an educational educator, and as well as a leader in the corporate company where I worked for over 20 years, you have to know who you're talking to. You first have to know the story of the person. What are their weaknesses and what are their struggles, to be able to help them, because you can't talk to everybody the same way. Everybody understands from a different perspective, and you have to really know the person so that you can offer them the solution that they're looking for or help them with that. And here, something very important, you have to learn to listen, not always talk about what you have to offer or what you expect from them, but listen to them and hear their story, know who they are, and then from there you're going to know how to help them and how to really be able to help them improve in whatever it is that they're trying to find a solution for. And that's the only way that you can do it, just hear them. A lot of time people get connected to you, they come to you because they want to vent, they want to tell you about their struggles, what they're going through. And that's how you make that connection, that's how you make that relationship, right? So always be open to listening first and understand their needs before you do anything else. And then once you do that, then you can, after you listen, you can offer the tips that you have or encourage them, or actually you may be able to tell or see strengths that they have that they don't know, that they possess, because they're so focused on their struggles, and that's something that everybody has different gifts, and everybody has something good to offer. And I remember with the kids, a lot of kids would be like, talking somebody down because they're not as good in a specific thing, but then they're really good at something else, right? And the other person doesn't have that same strength in that particular thing. So always be there to encourage them and to show them what their strengths are and how you can genuinely help them strengthen those, bring those out, or improve them. And then don't pressure anybody. When they're ready to do something, they're going to do it. They're going to take the step, they're going to take action, they're going to come to you, and you don't have to be the one going to them. So don't pressure anybody that's not ready to start change or to start a different path in whatever it is that they're doing. They should be the ones, interested, the ones coming to you, and the ones ready for that, right? And then the example here says, based on what you share about wanting more flexibility, we have a system that might help. Would you like more info? And, that's what we're here for, right? To help people who are ready. If you're ready to start something new, if you're ready to really take action, transform your life, get out of your comfort zone, take a step into the unknown, then we're here to support you. But you have to be the one ready, right? We have the solution, but you have to be the one who takes action. And like we say, there's no pressure, no pitching, just offering help and letting them decide. And that's the best thing that you can do. Let the other person decide, because we're not here to convince anybody. We're not here to really tell you like, yeah, you got to do it because this is going to, we don't have to convince you. You have to be the one who's convinced that you want to try something different, and that you're ready to go after your dreams and goals and take action to get there. So
Yeah. Thank you, Isabel.
mhm.
So have you ever felt drawn to someone because they focus on helping, not selling? So share your experience in the comments and let us know. That will be interesting to see. So let's go to the next point.
Okay, the next one is create a clear and easy path. And that's what everybody wants, right? A clear path. Like you should be able to see that where you're going. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have obstacles that you're going to have to jump through, right? But at least you have a clear and easy path. So make it easy for people to say yes. Always have a simple next step ready, whether it's a free info session, a call, or a resource. And this is like very helpful, right? When people are coming to you and they're looking for a solution to their problem, you should be ready with those resources, right? To be able to point them out and tell them like, okay, I have this free info session, why don't you look at it and decide for yourself if this is for you or not, right? And then keep the conversation warm, friendly, and low pressure. And that's what I was saying earlier, right? You're not there to convince them. You're not there to, like, I don't know, get mad over what they're telling you. You're just there to help them and offer them a solution, and always be friendly to them. Because as humans, we tend to always be in a hurry, always like focus on what we want, and okay, you need to decide now. I think it's also very smart and very uh friendly, in a friendly way, to tell people, okay, if you're not ready, watch the info session, come back to me, I'll be here to help you, to answer any questions that you have. And don't, you know try to sell or try to convince them and get mad over their decision. And then follow up kindly. People are busy, and gentle reminders show care, not desperation. And that's something that I started doing not too long ago, just doing follow up, and just a nice, kind follow up, like, hey, just wanted to reach out and see if you're still interested. I haven't heard from you. Something that is not like, you told me you were going to watch the webinar, you haven't gotten back with me, what's up, I'm still waiting. Like, you don't want to be that person. And then, pro tip, remember, we're not convincing, we are confirming. The right people will feel aligned when the timing is right. And this is so true. That's what I said earlier, whenever people are ready, they will be the ones reaching out to you, and not vice versa.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the key takeaways. Okay, so the key takeaways. So from this topic, we have learned that turning content into clients isn't about selling harder; it's about connecting deeper. Okay, so it's about connection first, and then you can offer, your help after. But you gotta connect first.
Yeah.
And the second key takeaways from this topic is focus on building real relationships. Okay, so get to know them, because by building a good relationship is that you're gonna be able to help them, because that way you have a better picture of how you can help them. Like Isabel mentioned, to find out what are the strengths, and taking that into consideration, that will be help, a good help for them, when they're doing their business, or whatever you're doing in this case for us is the business, but focus on building real relationships and then offer real solutions to their needs. Okay, so that's why you build a relationship, so you know what exactly is it that they need help, and then you offer the solution based on their needs, and not on the other one being salesly, because as a salesly, you're not really paying attention to their needs, you're not really listening to them, you're just like imposing your offer to them, and that's not how it works. And then trust that the right people will say yes. So if you created that good you build that good relationship, and then they trust you, they believe in you, and then you offer the solution, and let's say, the whatever you offering to them is something that it will help them, then then they will say yes to that offer. Or it might be, that at the time that probably you're saying, you're offering this, they're not ready, which is fine too. um it's like, when they're ready, they will come to you and they say, yes, I'm ready now to take um, this offering that you're showing to me. Um, but yeah, you don't want to be pushy, because when you're pushy, you're pushing them away. It's the same thing. So yeah, build that relationship with them and then try to help them on their needs, based on their needs. Okay, so see a sec. Okay, so okay, so we have arrived to the end of the live. But if you love the topic that we share with you today, and if you want to learn more, how you want to start your online business and start earning online, you can register in any of the websites that appear on the screen, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. Also, if you have any comments or any tips that you also have, that you want to add to the topic of today, you can also put it in the comments, and we'll be happy to read them. And or if you want to learn more, send us a private message, and we'll happy to answer to your questions. So saying that, when you register into our website that appears on the screen with your name and email address, you will receive an email that will contain a link to register for the live webinar. That live webinar will take you to a page that will have, not the link to the live webinar. Yes, the link to register to the live webinar will take you to a page that um, will have two buttons, one for Tuesdays and one for Thursdays, so you can register for either one or for both of them. And then the other link that you will get on that email is the link to the replay. So just in case you cannot make it to the live webinar, which happens every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. PST and 8 p.m. EST, then you can watch the replay at your own convenience, at your own from your own home. And then lastly, we also invite you to an exclusive private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So when you register for the webinar and you go into the webinar, you want to find out how our online business plan works. And also you get to see hear from the testimonials of the panelists, which are members of our community who will be sharing, why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So let's find out who were the hosts and panelists from this past Thursday's live webinar.
Okay, so Sandy said you can register on any of the websites and attend the live webinars either a Tuesday or a Thursday. We have them at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you don't have time to watch it during those times, don't worry. You can always register and we will send you the replay. Last Thursday, we had our host, Merlita. She's a manual osteopath. Taylor is a registered nurse, and she is also an ER nurse. Jennifer is a school bus driver, and Karen is a former wedding planner.
Oh, you're muted, Jesse. We cannot hear you. No. Okay. I'll just read it, okay? So our next panelist is Ashley, construction manager. We also have Shital, an educator, and then we have Kelly, an ex-principal recruiter in MNC. So as you see, all different walks of life, they decided to take that leap of faith to change their life and their family's life. So if you're catching the replay has subtitles in several languages. And for the live webinar, we have now subtitles in 5 languages: that's Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So now if you want to learn more, how you can start your online business. Yeah, just register in any of the websites that appear on the screen, and we'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar, which is there's going to be one tomorrow. So if you want to catch the replay before the live webinar tomorrow, you can register in any of the websites. Also, we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. And for those catching the replay, thank you so much. To our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. Um, for those who doesn't follow us, you can follow us up here on the top to get to know us a little bit more who we are and what type of content we post. And we also want to say thank you to RK Digital Online Marketing, Susana Gonzalez, and Jane P. Martins. Thank you for watching and thank you for your like emojis.
Gracias, Susana.
Okay, so let's find out what is next Monday's topic. You're still muted, Jesse. Okay, Isabel.
Okay, so don't forget to set your notifications on YouTube if you don't want to miss any of our lives. We go live every Monday for the digital success talks. And next Monday's topic is the long game. Why building a digital business is about consistency, not instant results. So don't want to miss that. We're going to have a lot to talk about on that topic. We'll see you next Monday.
Yes. So thanks for joining us today on Global Digital Success Talks. So turning content into clients isn't about selling harder, it's about connecting deeper. So focus on building real relationships, offer real solutions, and trust that the right people will say yes. So until then, keep showing up, keep serving, and watch the right clients come to you. So see you next Monday for another episode of the
Digital,
Global
global, digital
Digital
success
Success
stocks.
Talks. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for
Hey
watching.
guys, have a blessed
Thank
week.
you. Yes.